Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a very hot London. The London heatwave continues. I've just been sat outside for quite a lot this afternoon in the sunshine, making the most of it whilst the weather is here. So I'm now here back to talk about some books and some of my plans for the end of the year and just some books that I would like to get to before the end of the year. And why have I not read these books already? So I have a list of 10 odd books that I really want to prioritise and I really want to get to by the end of the year. And some of these I'm going to be a bit annoyed with myself if I don't get to them. Some of them I'll just be like, okay, but particularly this first one, I will be annoyed with myself if I don't read this year because it's getting a little bit ridiculous right now. I still haven't read Oathbria by Brandon Sanderson. It still hasn't happened. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why this book just doesn't want to be read. It just doesn't want to be read. I mean, I want to read it. It's the book's fault. It just keeps saying, don't read me right now. And I'm like, okay, I'll read another book. And then I don't pick this one up. Why do you keep doing that, book? So I do definitely want to read this. I want to read this year. I pretty much wanted to read it straight after finishing Words of Radiance. I finished that in like October and I still haven't read this. And I think a lot of it is because of the size of it, that it is a commitment. I don't feel as though I'm normally daunted by long books. That's not typically the way that I am, but it is a long book and it is going to require probably 2 weeks out of a month, and then I won't read that many books that month. But I do just need to prioritise it. This first section, by the way, is sequels. Sequels to series that I started and sequels that I really want to finish so that I can finish these series by the end of the year. The other one, which is also very chunky, is Speaking Bones by Ken Liu, the fourth and final book in the Dandelion Dynasty. I wanted to read this in July and it didn't happen, and it's like the midway through August and it hasn't happened, and I don't think it's going to happen because I'm away for work this coming week, and then I'm doing my first Laurathon binge, so I don't think it's going to happen in August. So this is going to have to happen in September. It has to happen in September. And if I get to this in September, then Oathbria is not going to be until October because I can't read both of them in the same month. But I have loved my journey through the Dandelion Dynasty. I have really... Dandelion? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Dandelion. I'm adding an extra N. This is the fourth and final book in the Dandelion Dynasty, which I have loved. I have loved this series. The first book I was a bit lukewarm on. I liked it, didn't love it. And then the second one and the third one, I've loved them. Wall of Storms is just like pinnacle top book ever. So I'm really excited to read Speaking Bones. I just need to actually read it. I did start it, and then I was like, I don't have time to read this right now. So without like having loads of time in between picking it up, so I just put it down again. But it will happen. And then a couple of other sequels. I really want to finish off the Lord of the Rings. So I read The Fellowship of the Ring back in like March. I read The Two Towers in June, and I do need to read The Return of the King. I wanted to rewatch the film for The Two Towers before continuing on, and I just haven't yet. I watched The Fellowship of the Ring back at my parents with my dad and my sister, and that was like such a fun experience, and I want to recreate that for The Two Towers. But when I have gone back to my parents, we haven't had time to do that, or like a whole weekend where I've been back there, and it just hasn't happened. So I haven't watched The Two Towers yet, so I haven't continued on to The Return of the King because I want to do my rewatch. But I definitely do want to finish this off by the end of the year. So that really needs to happen so I can rewatch The Two Towers, then read The Return of the King, then rewatch The Return of the King. Oh, the plans. I also have Gleam by Raven Kennedy, the third book in the Plate of Prisoner series. I figure that the other ones are a bit more epic and more daunting, so this is a series which is a fantasy romance, and although it's quite long, they're really easy to read. So I expect I should fly through this, and it would keep it's not quite up to date because the fourth book is out, but keeping progress on this series. So I definitely do want to read this as well. It's just figuring out exactly how to space it because I think the fifth and final book comes out next summer, so I don't end up like forgetting everything because I don't want to reread the series, I don't think, by the time that fifth book comes out. And also figuring out what's going on with the covers, because I have the first book in the self-pub edition, the second and third book in this like penguin edition that they've done. The fourth book that has recently come out is in this very white hardback, and that is not going to match at all with what I have. Like, they need to release a paperback in this style for that fourth book. But they haven't announced anything as far as I've seen. So what's going to happen? What is going to happen? Where am I meant to find a matching set? I mean, Penguin, you literally just released these. Why don't you have a fourth book that matches these? So there are some sequels. I'm definitely not limiting myself to those sequels. There are definitely other sequels that I want to get to, but there's just a list of some sequels that I definitely do want to finish and make progress in. I now have a little pile of books of just other ones on my TBR that I think I want to prioritise. The ones that have been like calling to me most recently, that have been like shouting out at me from my shelves saying read me, read me. One of them, which was actually on my 10 series to start in 2022, which I think I've actually started to make some better progress in, is The Ninth Reign by Jen Williams. I really want to read this. So I want to make sure I do it by the end of the year. It's on that series list, which I'm actually making progress in now. To maintain my momentum with that, I do want to read this, and I'd hope the whole trilogy. I've heard amazing things about this. It started off with Elliot Brooks, but I feel as though a lot of people have raved about this now. And I just feel like it's going to be for me. I feel like this is going to be a series for me. I really do. I think I'm going to love it. Like, everything about it sounds like it's going to work for me. I don't know if any of these are good for binging. Like, that's sort of the vibe that I'm after. I want to be able to like completely get immersed in a series, just like get so addicted to something and read it all the way through. Like, that's what I think I want in my life, and I don't know if any of these ones that I picked out are going to be the ones that do that for me. So if you've read any of these little part that's coming up and this one, let me know if they're like really bingeable and addictive and that you want to just read everything back to back. Another Elliot Brooks recommendation is Fireborn by Rosaria Munda, and I as well want to maybe binge this trilogy. I just feel as though everyone's talking about this series right now, because I guess the third and final book has just come out, so I feel like it would be so appropriate to binge it right now that the third book's out and it's all complete and I could just read the whole thing through. And I mean, why not? Why not? Again, Elliot raves about this. It is a YA dragons and very politically heavy, following the aftermath of a revolution. I've just got a good feeling about this. I've got a good feeling. And then a couple of other books that I have just good feelings about that, according to me, are Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This is like a fairy tale historical romance, and I figure it just sounds like it's going to be fun. It sounds like fun. I've had a lot of been reading a lot of like epic adult fantasy, I'd say this year, or like heavier things. And that's great. Like, I do love a big, like, heavy, epic adult fantasy. Like, I've been loving the Dandelion Dynasty. Like, I've been really, really enjoying that. But also, I think I need something lighter. I need some more levity in what I've been reading. Just so I don't feel so bogged down in things. I'm like, everything's a bit heavy. And I feel like this would definitely, like, fit that itch of being something light, fun, short, bingeable, just fun. I feel like this would fit the fun thing that I need. Fun read that I need right now, really. And then this one I don't think is necessarily going to be fun, but it has just been calling to me. Maybe because Joshana's been raving about it, I don't know. But it has been calling. And a few of us have said we were going to buddy read it. I went book shopping a few weeks ago with some friends here in London, and I think we all now own a copy of this, and we have said that we will read it together. And that's the Final Strife by Sarah Al Arifi. Yeah, I don't think this is going to necessarily be lighter, because I think it is quite dark. I believe there's some like trials in this, and our main character's family has been brutally murdered. So yeah, I love the end pages here, really like the cover, and I've just heard very, very good things about it. Will she rule the empire or destroy it? Who knows? But I don't know, I just have really good feelings about this. So another one that I want to read. And then I do have a few new releases that I don't own yet, but I do really want to read by the end of the year. So ones that are my top priority in terms of books that are going to be coming out. So the first one, which comes out very, very soon, is Babel by R.F. Kuang, and this is her new release. I feel as though I've been hearing about it everywhere right now. Like, everywhere is talking about Babel. At least, like, I go on any sort of book-to-net thing and everyone's talking about it. And I want to know. I want to know if I'm going to like it or not. I want to know if it's going to be for me or not. So I'm definitely very, very intrigued about Babel. I've managed to get tickets to see her over the bank holiday weekend here in London at Forbidden Planet. So I'm really hoping my Fairy Loot book arrives in time for that, so I can get my book personalised. So that's quite exciting because I was trying for ages to get the Waterstone tickets and it just kept selling out like instantly. And then I somehow managed to get the Forbidden Planet ones. Very excited to go. Very, very excited to meet her. And I might take my like Poppy War books as well and get them signed whilst I'm at it. And then another sequel that is coming out that I am excited to finish off the trilogy is The Last Enclave by Naomi Novik, the third book in the Scholomance trilogy. It's not a series that I have absolutely loved, but I have enjoyed it, and so it'll be nice to like round it all out and finish it off. And then I do have a couple of romances because I'm after something a bit lighter. I feel like I might want to put some more romances into my mix going into the second half of this year. So I do have Love on the Brain, which is by Ali Hazelwood, which again comes out later on this month in August, which I'm really, really excited to read because I absolutely loved The Love Hypothesis. So really excited to read her latest release. And then The American Roommate Experiment, which is by Elena Armas. She wrote The Spanish Love Deception, which I read last year and I enjoyed it. And so I'll just definitely be interested in seeing what she comes out with next. So there are just maybe some very rough plans. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Just some ideas of what I do hope to get to by the end of the year. I mean, there's not too many books there. I guess I couldn't count because I said 10 and there's 12 there, but 12 books or ideas of books that I want to get to by the end of the year, and we'll see how I do. We will see. Hopefully I can get to all of these. 12 books should not take me the whole year. 12 books should not take me all the months until the end of the year. It should take me, okay, a month might be a bit ambitious, but that should take me 2 months maybe. But I don't think that's quite going to happen. Some of these are quite chunky, but it should be definitely possible that I get to all of these. Fingers crossed. Unless I get distracted by something else. But fingers crossed I should be able to get to all of these books by the end of the year. Let me know if any of these books are on your list to get to by the end of 2022, or if you've read any of these and you have opinions on them, or if you want to buddy read any of them, then just let me know. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye!